I was checking out his
TV's
Twitter.
Andy Levy.
TV's Andy Levy. On Twitter, Andy Levy.
Yeah.
And he tweeted this fucking video, and it's called, the name of it sucks a dick.
It's Del Dot
removes basketball hoop. Delaware online news video is the name of the fucking video. I think it's doing well, so I guess, what do I know?
It's the Delaware Department of Transportation.
Del Dot.
God, what assholes.
Wait till you see this, Jimmy. So the setup is very easy. This guy is doing an interview with the news. I guess some asshole in the neighborhood has decided that basketball hoops need to be removed from the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And this guy's been fighting his basketball hoop being removed from the neighborhood for a little while, it seems like.
Yeah, he's sending appropriate letters you hear about in this story.
And now he's doing an interview about, what's going on. And it's key to the story. I think he says that the hoop's been in place for 60 years in front of his house. So obviously, probably before he was even fucking born, because he doesn't look like a 60-year-old man.
It's been there forever. And I think also pertinent to the story is the fact that the news was there interviewing him because the DOT had come there previously to remove the basketball hoop.
Right.
But this guy's wife crawled up and sat on top of the hoop so they couldn't remove it.
Right.
So the news, I guess, thought that was kind of a newsworthy thing, sent a crew down there to interview this guy. And in the middle of the interview, the DOT shows up again with police.
And
fucking assholes.
Yeah, we'll stop it so we could fill in the blanks.
This is annoying me already. The country's supposed to be broke, and this is what they're wasting their money on?
That's what Ann said earlier.
Yeah, they're wasting their money on this. And what really comes into play in this is the fact, and we've talked about this so many times, the fact that you don't own fucking shit. You think you own your house? You think you could do whatever you want on your own fucking property? Mm-hmm. No, you don't own shit. You want to do anything, you need to fucking grease a representative so you get a permit and fucking pay through the nose so they can get their cut on everything you do. It's mobster tactics.
And they're permit crazy. We've been talking about this off and on for last year.
Everything you do in your house, you need a fucking permit for? How is this now my property, my house? I pay a fuckload of taxes on it, yet I'm not allowed to fucking put a hoop on there or build an addition or change a room or remove a tree or put in a pool or put up a fence or a sidewalk, or I can go through a million fucking things. Change the roof color.
So you need a permit to put up a fence. You need a permit to take a tree down. You need a permit to use the parks now on Long Island.
Yes.
Permit.
Yeah.
Nothing but permits everywhere.
When I went to put my...
What the fuck are they doing?
Dude, when I went to get my backyard done, my backyard was, when I moved in, it was
mud.
Flat grass.
It was just mud.
Mud all around it.
I remember those days. Yeah. Just a muddy, grassy mess.
It was just flat. It had grass on it. That was it. I'm like, you know what I want?
You had a vision.
Because I'm an American. I've achieved a certain place in my life that I'm very happy with. I want a pool. I want a fence around my yard to keep the riffraff out. I want a pool house. And I want certain other things, maybe a built-in barbecue. Mm-hmm. I want everything. So now some trees have to be removed. Things have to be brought in. Mm-hmm. Holes have to be dug. Mm-hmm. Pools, pool parts, all that shit. Mm-hmm. The amount of permits that I had to get to do this was astounding. Probably no less, I'll say more, no less than a dozen permits.
Come on.
All of them, money, time.
Just to redo your backyard?
Just to put in what I wanted to put in on my own fucking property that I'm paying for.
Name the permits. I don't believe you.
Permits?
A dozen.
How about just a pool permit to have the pool, right? That's one. Then every aspect of the pool needs to be inspected, and you've got to pay the inspector, and he's got to sign off on it. Plumbing, the wiring, the cement work, proper drainage. You need a sump type thing just in case something happens. Then there's the fence. They only allow a 3-foot fence in my neighborhood. To get a 6-foot fence or a 4-foot fence. To get a 6-foot fence, you need a variance.
What? This shit drives me nuts.
Yes.
What's the difference between a 4-foot and a 6-foot fence?
Lou Costello and Abbott.
What is...
Tommy Lee.
What is the difference?
2 feet.
No, the difference is...
You're being literal.
The difference is simple.
Yeah.
If you want the 6 foot, which most people obviously would want...
Pay more.
Pay more.
You know you're going to have to pay more. Tree removal. Now, there were trees in the way of getting this pool and fence installed.
Yeah.
To remove every tree, you need a permit for the tree. The pool house, an external structure on your property. Now you need a guy to come out and assess the distance between... So now you need a survey done on your property line. You have to pay for all this, by the way. This isn't supplied by anyone.
You gotta stop. You gotta stop.
The survey. No, I'm continuing. Stop. You asked.
I'm having
the survey.
I'm out of my mind.
And survey your property and make sure the non-attached structure on your house, the pool house, is within your property, the proper length. It can't be close enough to the fence. The pool can't be close enough to the fence.
Why? What's the problem
property,
there?
I should be able to tuck it right against the fence, right?
Yeah, why?
Nope, sorry.
Because the fence is supposed to protect from your kids and stuff jumping in the pool.
Sorry. All right, now the pool's going to take up more electricity and shit like that, so I had to put new service in. 240 service, had to go in. Now the electrical inspector has to come by and inspect the electricity and the wiring and make sure everything's up to code. And now, bam, more cash is coming out of my pocket for that motherfucker. How about your barbecue? You want to build a brick standing barbecue that isn't something you wheel out and stuff? That's a permanent structure.
Why?
You need an inspector to come by. Because they need their money.
Why?
To claim that they're fucking broke.
Why, if you're just wheeling a barbecue out in your backyard, that's way more dangerous than if you actually build a nice structure.
There you go.
With cement and bricks all around.
And now the fence, by the way. Oh, wait, I brought up the fence already, didn't I? Oh, how about the guy that's got to come over and make sure your fence is safe and there are alarms on every entrance from outside to inside the area with the pool. So if some little toddler opens it up, it goes, meh, 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 meh.
You have to pay a guy for that?
A guy has to inspect that to make sure it's there.
So why do you have to pay the inspector?
Because no one else is. I pay him. And he probably gets a paycheck.
Why?
He probably gets a paycheck from the state or the county that I'm paying my taxes for.
Yeah, if we're paying our taxes, then that should just go with it. That the inspector comes out and fucking makes sure it's all on the up and up. Why are you paying extra? This shit is driving me nuts in this country.
And this is just to have the all-American backyard that I wanted on my own property. You would think I went to a neighbor and just started doing work in his yard.
Sure.
And people are like, hey, what are you doing?
Obviously, you got a lot more going on in your backyard than the average person.
You know what? Not really.
I like bringing it back to the average guy.
Not really.
Most of that stuff the average guy has to deal with.
If a guy wants a pool, you don't have to be fucking a rich guy to get a pool. I know a lot of people when I was working that also worked and had pools, and they have to go through the same thing. If you want to play down anything, a sidewalk, change something, these have to be inspected.
Who started this?
Who fucking started it? And again, we're a representative government.
No, we're not.
Who was the representative that suggested this, that was voted into office, that everybody said, now this is why I put him in here, so we could be fucking extorted like the mob can extort us to do things around our own houses.
I'm doing my breathing exercises today.
Yeah, do it.
I'm doing my breathing exercises.
I have a question.
By the way, I apologize for taking off yesterday. I took a day off, and
you're back.
I do have a twin cousin.
You're back.
That's very mellow.
Yeah, it looked like you.
I know he did. He came in. We've been our looks are impeccably identical.
Well, we were calling him Anthony. What's his name?
Yeah, his name's Pete.
So we'll know for next time.
Pete Cumia. He came in and
name.
I was listening to the show a little bit. Yeah.
Don't you have an Uncle Pete?
Well, no, it's always Petey.
Oh, shit.
And,
I'm in trouble with the mob.
And he was embarrassing to listen to.
He was.
Because the things he was saying, I was like listening to the Obama speech, and he was like, oh, I don't care. And I'm just like, I'm ready to go crazy on the guy.
I kind of like the Pete guy.
I hate Petey Cumia.
Come back?
What an asshole. He's a fag.
I like the Pete guy. Slow down with the fag thing, but I like the Pete guy. No, there was something else I wanted. Oh, so what do you think? Local government, they all get together at the what do they call
their little town hall?
The town hall. And what are they, just bored, so they just make up shit to bother us?
Yeah. Yes,
is that what it's coming down to?
It's another version of look down the hallways here. It's another version of justifying your job. Like, hey, I'm an inspector. I got to inspect.
Right. What can I add to my schedule of inspecting?
And then if something isn't right,
and they don't want to work either. By the way, no one wants to work. Most people don't want to work.
No.
But there's an incentive because they're getting a little action because you have to pay the guy to come out.
You got to pay the guy. You got to pay the guy. And God forbid something isn't up to code because of some reason, and you have to change something.
Oh, then the fines
then you have to change it.
Ridiculous,
There's
right?
no fine yet, but he'll go, all right, you change that, I'll be back in a couple of days, and then you pay him again.
You have to pay him for the second visit.
You got to pay, and the amount of here's another thing: the amount of paperwork to get the permits in the first place costs you money, and you got to fill out things that are ridiculous. Here's an example: I have a tree. It's your tree. It's dying. It's a dying tree. I want to have it. I have to have it removed, or this thing's going to fall onto my house at some point.
So let me slow you down. If it falls down on your house, then what happens?
I guess the insurance company's got to pay it. Town isn't fucking responsible.
You should fucking sue the town.
Yeah, you could, but you know what that's going to take.
You know why? Because I know where you're going with this. So you tell those fuckers, look, I couldn't afford to take the tree down, so I had to keep it up, and now it fell on my property, so now I'm suing you.
As they see me sitting with pina coladas in my jacuzzi.
Well,
I can't afford to have this tree removed.
Well, but bring it back to the average guy. I'm sure the situations where the average guy has a dead tree and he can't afford to get it removed.
The situation got nothing to do with it.
So let the fucking tree fall on your house and then sue the county.
Yeah.
And go, look, I couldn't afford to take this away, so I took my chances.
They would say, like, hey, it's your property. That's when they'd go, hey, it's your property.
Yeah, now it's your property.
Hey,
but it's not your property because now you're going to pay somebody, the county, all sorts of fees and shit to remove the fucking tree.
None at all.
Sorry, go back to the story.
I was going through this form with Keith that you have to fill out in order to have a tree on your own fucking property removed. And not just any tree. This tree's dying and shit. The questions: is the tree sick? Is the tree posing a danger? How big is the tree? Please measure the tree around from the ground 4 feet up. Give us the diameter of the tree. And there's questions up the ass. And then you got to go down to the town hall and file this form with money. Of course, everything is money. And then an inspector now comes out and inspects the tree to make sure it's, ill-fated, doesn't interfere with your neighbors in any way.
Do you have to pay the inspector?
Oh, yeah.
I'm out of my mind.
Again.
I'm serious.
And now I got to pay the people that cut the tree down.
Right.
Obviously, that's got to be paid. But I don't mind that because that's what I'm having them do.
Right.
But it's the lead up to that. And I'll have a lot of fucking firewood next year because that's a big goddamn fucking tree.
How much money is it going to cost you before the company comes in and takes the tree?
It's at least
because that's something you expect.
Probably, I'll tell you, before that tree gets touched, about $2,000.
No.
Yes.
There's no fucking way.
Yes.
There's no fucking way.
Filing fees, inspection fees.
There's no
tree.
Who can afford that besides you?
A fucking arborist. I have to hire an arborist to come up and inspect the tree to make sure there isn't some kind of fucking, it's not an endangered tree. It's not a home to a fucking spotted owl. It's not, no shit, an arbor. I'd rather hire an arsonist and burn the tree down. Sounds like arborist.
It does.
It's not funny, but it sounds like arborist.
That's an excellent point.
Yes.
All good points aren't funny. That was just very valid.
Well, not at all.
Yes. That one just happened to lack humor in every way, shape, or form.
Someone's saying I should just hire Jill or burn it. It's very funny.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Or call an abortionist, they're saying.
There you go.
Or how about an abolitionist?
An abolitionist. Oh, yeah, get rid of him, too. Oh, Christ on a pony. I can't take it anymore.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
You got to be kidding me.
Dude, this tree is just retarded.
How is this happening?
Yeah. And I got to deal with a neighbor, but the neighbor's been pretty cool. Like, Keith has been over there and talked to him because there's no way a truck can get in on my side of the property because of the fence and everything like that. And my backyard's all done. It's got gates and everything. And my neighbor's driveway is like right next to the fence and that tree.
Right.
So I think the tree cutting company is going to have to go into his driveway and stuff. I'll grease him. I don't care. You pay off a neighbor. Well, I won't. I don't have to. But I'll throw him a few bucks for the convenience.
I wouldn't take it if I was a neighbor. I would just be neighborly.
Nah, it's cool. I don't mind things like that. That's kind of
how much are you gonna get? Like $500?
Nah, I was thinking a couple $100.
All right, I thought
just for fucking.
I thought 200.
Just a couple $100. There's gonna be a truck in his fucking driveway. It could be inconvenient for a while. So yeah. And if he doesn't take it, that'll be cool. He never, I never offered it or
for once.
Said he would take
for
it.
once, it's nice to be your neighbor.
Yeah, See?
Most of the time, he's probably like, oh, this fucking asshole.
This guy, no, believe me, during the summer, he's probably peeking over the fence.
And enjoying the view,
looking at
right?
what's going on. Topless girls in the jacuzzi.
You keep the trees a little low for him so he can check shit out?
Yes. That tree being removed, by the way, I think leads a complete opening from one of his upstairs windows into the jacuzzi.
Oh, shit.
He's
in heaven.
He's going to be like, yeah, cut it down. I don't care.
Yeah. He's going to show up with a fucking hammer and a saw. I'll be sure to help.
I'll do it. He's trying to pay me.
Is the fence thing, is the fence thing where you can't have something too close to, we had a problem with a neighbor years ago because they built something too close to our property. And the overhang was over our property, and then the squirrels were jumping into our tree from his fucking roof. I wonder if that's what it is, all these neighbor disputes that have popped up over the years.
There is something like that. Obviously, if you have a structure that's leaning over their property line, that's a problem, and I can agree with that problem. But the thing is, then keep it after it happens, or something. Have the neighbor complain, then have somebody come down, whatever. Or have a talk and say, here's where it is. Or you see it going up as a neighbor, go like, hey, isn't that close? And then settle it. I had to move my pool drawings. Like they drew out where my pool was going to go. We submitted it. They said, okay, it's 10 feet off the property line. Then they said, no, it's got to be 20 feet.
Why?
And then I was like, wait, you said 10 fucking feet. And they're like, no, it's 20 feet. And then they came back and said 25. And I'm like, motherfucker, I've got to draw this pool where it's going to go on my property, whether it's going to be, perpendicular to a fence or slightly askew or shit like that. I got to fit it in here.
If you have a fence, why?
Exactly.
Just because they just want to bust your balls and make a little extra money.
It's all about the money. It's all about fucking them just shaking you down. It's a shakedown. It's like a fucking bad cop going to a drug dealer and just shaking him down because they can. Because the homeowner has no recourse. And where are you going to go? They're all in it.
And there's a town hall somewhere today where they're making up more shit to
that's
bother
going to cost you money.
Right.
They get money, and then they cry poverty and raise your taxes on the property you can't do anything on.
Right. How are they crying poverty on top of it? So it leads to this video that Andy Levy really kicked into high gear last night on his Twitter. Just in case you're tuning in, we go back to this video. You want to explain it again, Ann? So you got the
Department of Transportation for Delaware is going out and just plucking basketball hoops off of people's property. They're close to the street because you know how kids like, especially in cul-de-sacs, like to play basketball. But the net is on the property, the people's property. But they're playing in the cul-de-sac. It's been done for years. This shit.
Basically, the poles on your property.
Yeah.
Or maybe not, because I think they have some kind of fucking law where they technically own 3 or 4 feet into your
whatever that is.
And now the actual hoop, when you make the basket, the ball goes down onto the street. And we all know this. We all grew up with these
seen it a million times. They've been around forever when no one's done this. Well, they've been plucking these things out, the Department of Transportation.
Why? Because they had nothing better to do.
They were going to pluck it out of the ground.
Seriously?
In front of this guy's house, but the guy's wife decided to climb the pole and sit on it. So she, obviously, they couldn't remove it.
Who'd she call for advice, Fonzie?
Hey.
She's getting a little carried away, too. It's not exactly a redwood, a cutting down lady.
I hate them, too.
She changed herself to it.
But she was doing that, and then the news came down and thought it was an interesting story, was interviewing the husband right there in front of his property, and then he went, oh, here they come again. And the DOT came with police this time, and it's the exchange between the guy, the police, and the DOT.
Yeah, the female voice you're going to hear is
a police woman.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
And she's just a cunt on wheels. And this guy is making valid points, and she's blatantly lying to the guy. Really, it's amazing to me.
And the guy is relatively young, and he's got a cane in his left hand, so he's a little.
Maybe he's just classy. Did he have a monocle? And a top hat?
Maybe he was putting on a show in the driveway.
He's pimping. He's a bit disabled, so here's the video. The audio, anyway. It's on our Facebook if you want to check it out.
Yeah.
My wife was dropping off my daughter from school this morning and coming back through Ashburn Hills.
Looks like Stephen King.
She saw about 5 or 6 Del-Dot trucks, big ones.
Del-Dot.
Monster dump truck with a couple already having 2 basketball hoops in the back of it.
Not just the hoops, by the way, the entire pole and everything.
2 or 3 guys to every truck.
Fucking assholes.
Coming out, pulling basketball poles up, but only a specific 8
Picture
basketball
with a
poles.
truck filled
if you
with
drive
basketball
through the
hoops
neighborhoods, It's not every basketball pole in the neighborhood that would be quote-unquote in violation.
Look at all those.
It's a specific 8, and it's on one of our neighbors at the end of the street's route out of the neighborhood, and he's the one who made the anonymous complaint that started this all back in September.
One neighbor.
Burn him!
60 years.
Been there.
Why all of a sudden did it become a problem? She saw the trucks coming, and they started pulling in down the street, and they started down at the bottom. So she said, I'm going up the pole.
Right on, man.
Get me a cup of coffee.
One jerk-off neighbor.
She should have used some conditioner up there.
I got her a cup of coffee. She climbed up the car, sat up on the pole. Minute, here they come. Here he is.
See, now they're coming back in the middle of the interview.
This is beautiful.
With the cops.
You never get to see
They're back.
how they treat the average person.
I may have to end this interview.
Unfortunately, I can understand your...
It's the police woman.
Unfortunately, DelDOT has the right of way. They've sent out certified letters. I don't want to...
But we have responded back to those letters, myself and my state representative, and we have not gotten responses to our responses to them.
Okay. Unfortunately,
so we felt this matter was still pending, and for them to come out here and ambush us at 8:15 in the morning and start stealing basketball poles is not right.
Here's what I'm going to tell you right now, though, okay?
Can I have 2 hours to get my TRO filed?
No, you may not.
Why?
The car needs to be moved right now.
I'll move the car.
Listen, I do not want to arrest you or your wife.
Arrest you. Could you pause that a minute?
And
Could you pause that?
Go back slightly.
There is a threat of arrest right now.
Over a basketball hoop.
Over a basketball hoop for this guy that is just trying to give his side of the view. He's not in any way being violent.
Right.
He's not in any way being, he's not trying to incite her into anything. He's just discussing this, and she immediately goes with the arrest threat over a fucking hoop that's on his goddamn property.
I don't hate her. I don't hate her, though.
Not yet.
Oh, you'll hate
Not
her.
yet.
Okay, at this moment, I don't. Okay.
You'll hate her.
Not yet.
Okay.
I guess technically you could say she's doing her job.
Right, yeah, right now
but
she's just going, don't go up in the thing.
But there's no fucking reason to even...
That the police are involved is astounding.
And the fact that it hasn't been fully gone through whatever process is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Well, it shouldn't even be a process. Just leave the fucking basketball hoops alone and go figure something else out.
But he's filed papers and everything,
right.
and what? There can't be an injunction of a removal until this is done. I mean, if you want to take the whole legal aspect that this hoop legally doesn't belong here and we're ripping him out, well then, as an American, you should be able to refute that with legal paperwork and using your representatives and, hash this thing out. And get some kind of injunction, but they don't want to hear it. Mm-hmm. It's not in there. No, fuck you. We're taking.
You
we're
really
taking
are just
it.
yelling into a room by yourself with stuff like this. No one is listening.
No one can listen because they're all in it. The people that are supposed to be listening are in on it.
This is what we want our local governments doing, though?
Right.
We're going around neighborhoods and pulling out fucking basketball hoops?
Really? How about...
Are you fucking kidding me?
I wonder how many people are playing basketball in these hoops because they don't have fucking jobs.
What scumbag anonymous neighborhood anonymous complaints?
Oh, can you just picture the person in your head?
We could all relate
I
to
could
that.
picture who that is in my head.
Asshole.
Cowards.
The whole neighborhood is
anonymous.
with torches and pitchforks and do them old school.
All right, so back to this. So, by the way, so you know, because it's a visual, obviously, like I said, the video's on our Facebook page, but the minivan is right under the hoop.
Yeah,
trying to protect the hoop.
Right.
And that's what she said, move the fucking car.
I want to arrest you or your wife, but that is where this has gone. The car needs to be moved.
She'll be up that pole again in 2 seconds.
She will not be up that pole again, okay?
Why?
Because we're not going to allow her. It's disorderly conduct if anybody goes up the pole. I need the car moved right now.
Am I still going to be allowed to keep my pole?
They advised earlier they're not taking the pole, they're putting them.
They've asked people if they want them, they'll lay it in your driveway.
Well, I would like my pole, yes, because
they let everybody keep it.
That's not what I saw, and my neighbors didn't tell me that.
Okay, well, the law is supposed to take it, but they offered you the courtesy of letting you keep it.
You may stand here. You may not.
Please
taunt
video.
them.
You may not talk to them.
She said taunt them.
Oh, did she?
Can you pause that because it's worth... And you got to go back. He starts screaming in the background, March Sadness.
March Sadness. Hey, that's pretty good.
You could barely hear it.
March Sadness.
I take off, obviously, on March Madness. He's calling it March Sadness.
And by the way,
and what you see is a fucking what is that? A front loader? What the fuck?
Yeah, big front loader.
Big front loader is about to just rip the hoop out of the ground that's been there 60 years.
Who is the fucking asshole in this? It's like these guys, these DOT guys are hateable, but they're just doing it. Someone told them to go do it. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Someone told these cops, look, there's a fucking problem now. You got to go protect the DOT workers. You can't have this.
Yeah.
So they're doing what they're told. Like, but there's somebody, if you go up the chain is the cunt.
Is the prick.
Somebody is the motherfucker who's saying, not too bad, and that's who you want to hate. But it's like, who is it?
But
I hate them all.
The DOT.
And you're going to hate this blonde in a moment.
Yeah, especially after what was said. And I think from your own property, you should be able to say whatever the fuck you want to these DOT people.
And you can.
Don't taunt them. Don't, whatever. I'll say whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah, from my property?
I'm not making threats.
Right.
I'm fucking commenting.
You're allowed
I'm giving running commentary on them fucking, abusing my right as a homeowner.
I would not survive this situation.
You'd have 3 in the chest.
No, I know my limit.
You'd be like a chimp in Connecticut just running at the cops.
Biting off noses and testicles.
Not even being cocky. I would not be able to survive this situation. I would have a major fucking problem on my hands. Did you back it up so we hear March Sadness?
I didn't hear
March
that.
Sadness.
March Sadness.
Please video. I'm sure you will. March Sadness. You take kids. There goes 60 years of history, guys.
Look at it. And the thing just falls down.
That pole staying, please.
All of them are gone.
What? You just told me I can keep it. You lied. You said we had the option of keeping the pole.
You can come and pick it up.
No, you didn't say that. You said I can keep my pole.
Your kids right now. Go in the house.
All right, pause it. Pause it. There's a lying fuck right there.
Yeah, she did lie.
Saying you
Right
could
to his
you could
face.
keep
It's
it
on camera.
We'll put
They'll
it in
lay
the
it in your driveway. Yep.
You could keep it.
Yeah.
And then they're loading it on the front loader where they're then going to put it in a dump truck. And he goes, wait, I want that in my driveway.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, you could come pick it up or something.
And then she says, go in the house.
And go in the house. Fuck you, go in the
yeah,
house.
Fuck you is right.
There ain't no reason for that guy to go in his house. He's standing on his property, voicing a complaint against the civil fucking servant, and it's well within his fucking right.
No one likes you to object anymore. People now think that objection, or even being loud when you object, is fucking cause for arrest.
Right.
On an airline, you can't object.
Nope.
They don't know the difference between justifiably being pissed off and objecting.
And voicing your opinion.
And somebody running yelling Allah Akbar with a fucking bomb to the chest.
Right.
Really? You don't know the difference?
Right.
I hope she's catching some shit for this.
She won't.
In her life, I just hope that people are recognizing her and going, wow, man.
I wonder if she's a sub sexually. She's a female cop. A lot of them are fucking dirty. I wonder if she just
Do you think she just said that to get the situation?
Of course.
Just like
she didn't want to deal with the guy and said, yeah, well, we're giving everybody the option to keep the pole. We'll lay it in your driveway. She didn't even say giving everybody the option to keep the pole. And then end it right there where it's like, well, we give you the option, but you got to come pick it up. So she said, we'll lay it in your driveway.
She did say that.
Fucking lied there.
And why can't they just lay it in the driveway?
That's fair enough.
Of the guy's property.
Yeah, exactly.
She doesn't want the headache of it going back up, but that's not her fucking place.
Yeah.
Yep.
If he puts it back up, then so be it. Then deal with it. But leave the fucking pole in his driveway. It's his property, but they had to drag it away. Why?
And they're all just taking it away.
And they leave it to fall and bend, and then they dump it in a dump truck where God knows that they're not going to individually take it out. That fucking dump truck's going to go and just dump them all out at a junk pile. What do you think? They're saving it in the just in case you want to come pick up your basketball hoop section of Town Hall? That's going to the dump, motherfucker.
Pile them all up in the corner of the evidence locker back at the station.
Yeah, and label each one with names on it and go, this is the Smith's poll. Yes, and here, Mr. Smith, take your poll away.
She did fucking that. She lied. She said you can keep
right
it.
To him.
And she said, we'll put it in your driveway.
And thank God it's on camera, because you would go to the town officials and go, look, they lied to me, and they'd be like, yeah, okay.
She'd go, no, I didn't say that.
There's an edited part that they edited out.
You're a fucking liar.
Hit it. Let's go. Let's get to the end of this.
We had the option of keeping the pole.
You can come and pick it up.
No, you didn't say that. You said I can keep my pole.
Your kids right now. Go in the house.
Go in the house.
Real brave.
Go in the house.
We can stand out here.
Right.
We cannot talk these people.
The wife.
I can
You
talk
just
to you.
lied to me, officer.
You can talk to me. That's
Roll the tape back.
You know what?
You just told me we could keep that thing, and now you lied. That's a great use of force and money power today. And I have the freedom to speak. It's the United States First Amendment rights to speak my will.
They fill in the hole.
Well, they're filling in the hole so a kid doesn't trip in it and break his ankle and sue them.
And they're watching.
And look at this. Here's this hoop.
Here's 60 years.
They just front loader, bam, right into the dump truck.
It's infuriating.
It is annoying. That bitch did say he could keep it.
Yep.
And then the truck goes away with the basketball
And there
in the
it
back.
is.
I think that's it.
There it is.
I love how the wife said, "You make me sick." So.
Yeah. And then the guy's like, "Yeah, I'm on my own property. I'll say what I want. Go in the house? What are you, my mommy?
Go in the house.
What are you, my mommy, you
shitty
bitch?
Delaware accent.
Fuck you."
All over a dumb basketball hoop that's been there forever, not bothering anyone.
And she said,
not bothering
they'll
anyone.
lay it in your driveway if you want.
Yeah, and he said, "Yeah, I want to keep that." No, you could come pick it up. Pick it up.
She just wanted to. She was just saying whatever she had to say.
It's James and Lars
to get out of there.
What?
Looks like James and Lars. Wait a minute.
Not Lars. It looks like
Lars.
that's Hetfield.
James.
It is Hetfield.
Yeah.
They're probably on location somewhere though. It's not Lars. I don't know who that
No,
is.
the story could possibly be on Fox News.
That's not Lars.
No,
that's not Lars.
Anyway.
It looked like him for a second when I saw James.
A big thank you to Andy Levy bringing that to
Wow. Infuriating, though.
Really?
a lot of people's
God
attention.
damn.
Isn't that just drive you fucking nuts? It's a great example of what's going on in this fucking country with the local governments and
local government, state, federal. I mean, this is
just
all
getting in your business for no fucking reason.
We're in a fucking mommy state. This is a mommy state that we're living in these days. You're not allowed to do anything. Like Jimmy said, you can't dissent anymore without being labeled something.
Yeah.
You used to be able to just talk and speak your mind, and that was that. Whether you got results from it or not, at least you were. It was open for debate and stuff. Now you're instantly slapped with one of these labels. You're difficult. It goes from being difficult to being a fucking terrorist and everything in between.
And nobody ever can make a snap decision and go, oh, you know what? That's a good point.
Right.
It's like on the airline, when they charge me for that food, the fucking shit flight attendant couldn't just go, you know what? That is kind of shitty. They didn't have the meal they're supposed to have for you. Let's just do it the right thing. Those fucking people couldn't go, you know what? The guy makes a good point. The cop couldn't go, you know what? All right, he has this thing in motion. None of these fucking dumb robots can just improv on the spot and go, you know what? That's a great point. Let's not do this. Or let's put this on hold.
And honestly, did that hoop, and the guy said he had paperwork in, he's working with a representative. Did it really have to be ripped out at that minute?
No, it didn't.
Right then?
No.
He asked for a little time to get something filed, I guess. Like he was going through a legal procedure since he was notified that this was going to happen.
I would be even pissed off if he wasn't going through the proper legal channels.
Absolutely, because it's crazy.
But granted,
he was. It's even worse that he was going through all of the legal procedures, and they probably put him off. And did it really have to be ripped out at that minute? Was it such a hazard, or whatever the fuck they're calling it, that it had to be taken out like that? It wasn't ticking. This thing wasn't ticking and full of C4.
Did we point out it was at the end of a cul-de-sac?
Yes, okay. It's in a cul-de-sac. It's a
dead end, basically.
It's the same hoop you've seen growing up forever.
A million fucking times.
Some cocksucker neighbor. Why don't you hate your neighbors?
Oh, fucking with those goddamn... Who's complaining about the hoop? Who cares?
Somebody that probably didn't like the noise.
Yeah. I got a hoop. Actually, the neighbor that I got to ask if I could use his driveway to get my tree out, he's got a hoop, and it's actually facing the fence and my yard. And every so often, during the summer in the pool, the basketball just come flying over the fence and land in the pool. And it's just the kids, and they're like, hey, mister, can I have my ball?
Don't you love when that happens?
Oh, I love it. And then I get to play a game because I have to now shoot the basketball over the back of the hoop and try to get it into the fucking... I have to shoot over the rear of the backstop and get it in the hoop. And I've done it a few times. It's a lot of fun.
That is fucking... I'm annoyed now at that video.
I'm so annoyed.
Someone just sent me another video. I'm trying to see if there's more to it.
She did.
Are you curious about why the state police would act this way? The internet has a theory.
A theory? Uh-oh. Let me tell you my theory.
On Google Street View, go to Hillsdale, then just follow down the street until you reach the dead end. So you could Google Earth and get to the dead end. While we walked, did you ever wonder how a neighbor got so many state troopers just to deal with the basketball hoop? Who could possibly get such excellent service from the Delaware State Troopers? Okay.
Who was the complainer?
I'm waiting for the next
judge.
one. Going down.
Judge Smells.
Okay.
I want these basketball hoops taken down. I want them slapped with an injunction. Make their heads spin.
Yeah, they're suspicious that it took all those troopers showed up for that. So maybe this person that complained is pretty powerful.
Powerful. Who knows?
I don't know.
Sounds like a conspiracy.
This fucking video's got legs, man.
Oh, yeah, this one's going to be on the news.
It's got legs.
And again, it just shows you something also, the fact that the news isn't playing this right now. This will be like Friday.
Probably.
They'll hit it, and it'll be like a news story.
Probably.
Meanwhile, everybody that is into any kind of
social networking
is
all over it already.
The internet, you've seen it already. That's
Andy
what
has
the
an
news
update.
Andy has an update.
State police investigating hoop incident. Legislator works to get basketball pulled back. And no, Andy Levy had an update. They're conducting an internal investigation into last week's confrontation between that family and the trooper, which I guess is the woman.
Well, they have to because it's on video.
Now it's on the news. That's one good thing. Once it hits the news, then they have to do something just to shut everybody up. Because whatever fucking asshole probably made the decision is now worried they're going to look bad, so then they'll just do something to clean it up.
Yeah.
And then the news people go, oh, we're very happy we got the thing back, and our neighbor was executed. We asked for our neighbor to be burned alive with a stick in his ass, and he was.
Good. Actually, ironically, we tied him to a basketball pole and burned him.
And the officer's flating us.
Does anyone know why it's a problem to begin with?
Something about a code.
Something we all grew up with and was never really a problem.
It's some code. It's called a free zone that they have in Delaware, where I guess it's a public property or city property, town property. And if it overhangs that property, that it is has to be removed. So if the hoop is overhanging a curb, as it would be because you're playing on the cul-de-sac, that is some type of problem. Now, why it's a problem, I don't know.
Because they were bored at the town hall and said, look, we got to make up more shit.
And that's a made-up reason because some guy down the street didn't like the ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk of the basketball hitting the street, kids playing, laughing, having fun, perhaps.
Oh, probably this guy hates the kids in the cul-de-sac and said, well, if this is a law. If I can get rid of that fucking hoop, I'll have a more peaceful existence.
They said they knew who it was. They knew who it was. That guy seemed to know who it was.
Just fucking move, then, asshole.
It's astounding, though. The whole lack of freedoms that we have on our own property, what is supposed to be our own houses. The ability for the government to come in and use, police and troopers at the same time to come in and completely just not acknowledge your freedoms under some guise of some weird law or statute or fucking just some ordinance, whatever the fuck it is. They have the power to do anything, to transcend your constitutional rights and do anything to you.
But the other side will say, well, they were breaking the law.
Exactly.
And my point is really simple. There shouldn't be a law like that.
Right. But a law...
There's other things to worry about before you start making laws about basketball hoops at the end of a cul-de-sac.
A law or a city or town ordinance can be whipped up, and you could be held responsible or arrested or fined for things that should just be you enjoying your life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness in your own fucking home. But those days are gone.
Oh,
gone.
Someone noticed. I didn't notice that there are portable basketball hoops in the truck. So those.
Really?
So those could have very easily been moved into a driveway.
Right.
The wheels.
Yeah, the wheels. They
wheel
fold
out
up actually a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that.
Amazing.
Because that's an easy one, and just knock on the door and go, look, it's sort of breaking a law. Could you move your fucking hoop into the driveway?
Yeah.
But no, why would you do that?
Unbelievable.
The person who made the complaint was an 86-year-old man who doesn't like the kids playing in the street.
Well, that makes sense. You life hog, die.
Poor 86 years old. Why don't you just fucking? Why don't you get the DOT to fucking dig a nice hole and you crawl into it face first?
Just die.
But again, I hate the kids too. So I would hate them too, running around, punks.
Probably would be, but what are you going to do? You can't do anything. Requiring the area immediately next to the pavement and subdivisions to be free of obstructions. Now, that makes sense if you're talking about if you want to build a shed in front of your house in the cul-de-sac, that would fall under that free zone, requiring the area immediately next to the pavement in the subdivision to be free of obstructions.
But why do they have to make that?
There's not an obstruction. You could use any law. It's worded in a way that they could use that for anything from even a car parked on your street.
Right. But what else was that meant for besides basketball hoops?
Probably the fact that they don't want any kind of permanent or temporary structure being built in front of your house that might go into the roadway. But a basketball hoop technically might fall into that. But again, like Jimmy says, you should be able to talk reasonably with somebody, not make it such a black, white, yes, no issue and say, oh, it's a basketball hoop? Yeah, you know what? Those are fine.
And then in the end, if you're going to take the fucking thing, you'll put it in the driveway like you told them you would.
Yeah.
Because it is theirs.
Yeah, there's two problems
Why
here.
do you feel like you have to now take it away?
Yeah. Hauled it away like the rest of them.
So fucking infuriating.
It really is irritating.
Then they took them all and loaded them into, I heard they loaded them into boxcars and drove them to a basketball pole camp where they're under horrid conditions.
You think they're removing basketball hoops in Harlem?
I don't know.
You think they go to the black neighborhoods?
First they come for your basketball hoops and no one helped.
That's right.
And then in the end, when they came for my basketball hoop, there was no one left to help.
Where's that from?
Holocaust.